Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. This morning we're talking about an ongoing strike in Seattle which causes delays in the school year. This makes us want to know, should teachers be paid more? Be sure to vote online through our app and take part in our discussion on our Facebook page.
Plus, our very own Jalen Banks takes us to Sheldon, Missouri, where they were without internet, causing a major inconvenience for all the residents.
But first, our top stories right now at 5. 3 people in McDonald County, Missouri are dead after a head-on collision accident.
Plus, we're taking a look at a decent week ahead of us. Good storms and everything like that. Rain chances. We'll break that all down coming up.
And Books A Million donates nearly $5,000 to buy books for the Dunawig Education Center.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It is 5 a.m. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So unlike yesterday, I am actually awake despite the incoherent speech I just gave at the green screen. But I forgot, I looked at it and realized I didn't hit the play button on the weather computer. And I said, well, that's inconvenient, isn't it?
Since you're in a minor run across the
yeah, just a slight sprint. This studio is a little bit bigger than what you might think. It's a pinch bigger than what you might think in terms of getting from here or there to here.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you know, in hindsight, you know that it's laid out to where you shouldn't have to move so fast, but you can.
You can.
You know you can.
And I had a clear, no cables to stumble over, clear path from here to there. So
you made it successfully.
Yeah, I can't believe it's Thursday. We have another More Power tour tonight.
And we've got Chef Anthony in the studio this morning.
That's right. Chef Anthony's coming in, and we've got another exciting interview coming your way as well. We just got an action-packed morning this morning and an action-packed studio.
That's right.
And we'll be in Parsons for our More Power tour. We'll be there live with weather at noon. And then, of course, we'll have our shows there at 5 and 6 o'clock tonight. And it's going to be perfect weather to do all of that. We're looking at another very nice day today across the area. We are still watching those weekend rain chances, of course. And we got some chilly evenings ahead of us as well. So, as we take a look at the Skywatch storm tracker, nothing really out there. Taking a look across the nation, there's some spotty showers. We're watching a little more activity out to the northwest across Montana, Idaho. But again, the last couple of days, the lower 48 have been relatively quiet, which is all right, but it's going to change. We're going to get some showers on the way in. 7th and range line, not too bad right now. Clear skies and 62, so a cool start to the day compared to what we've seen the last couple of days. Across the area, check it out. Some of those 50s we've been talking about, 59 in Yates Center, Chanute, Iola, and Fort Scott. We got 60 for Fredonia, 60 in Parsons, 62 in Columbus, and 63 as we start the day in Carthage. Kids getting on the bus around 7 o'clock this morning. Should be mostly clear skies with a light east breeze sitting at 69 degrees. And as the bus brings them back home around 3, mostly clear skies yet again and 82. Going through the rest of the day, we've got another warm one, a decent one lined up for us, a pinch warmer than it was yesterday. Looking at 80 by noon, 88 by 5, 72 by 8. Mostly clear skies, so absolutely gorgeous. And it's another gorgeous evening as well. 68 at 11, 65 at 2, 63 at 6 a.m., and that is our overnight low. We're going to take a look at those weekend rain chances and the 7-day forecast here in just a few minutes.
All right. Sounds like we've got a lot to discuss this morning.
Busy morning, but a good morning.
All right. A lot of fun. Let's get started. Thanks, Chris. Well, 3 people are dead from a head-on collision in McDonald County. It happened shortly after 9:30 Tuesday night on US 71 near Brush Creek Road in Pineville. Troopers say 29-year-old Kyler Johnson from Washburn was heading south when he traveled into the northbound lane and struck another vehicle head-on. Johnson, along with both of his passengers, 58-year-old Joseph Lynch from Powell and a 15-year-old from Washburn, all died at the scene. A 17-year-old from Neosho was driving the second vehicle. She was flown to Freeman Hospital in Joplin in serious condition. A Southwest Missouri community regains internet access after losing it for almost 48 hours. A broken line disrupted service from the only internet provider in Sheldon, Missouri. With the internet down, schools were not able to communicate with parents. Also, people could not pay bills online and were unable to use credit and debit card machines or even send emails. As you'd imagine, this was a major inconvenience for residents.
It was really crazy. I had messages that I couldn't receive. The school let out early, but with my cell phone not working and not having internet, I had no idea that my children were coming home early until a friend happened to come by and tell me.
Well, later in the show, we'll hear from a city official about the outage's impact on residents. Well, local bookstores making sure students have plenty to read this year. On Wednesday, Books A Million in Joplin donated nearly $5,000 to buy books for the Dunnewick Education Center. Officials say the students were very excited about the new reading opportunities.
We have students here who are avid readers, and so they were super excited about seeing all these. I asked them to wait till I inventoried them before they came and pick one out, but you know, we're super appreciative of them doing that for us.
This is the second year Books A Million has partnered with a local school to donate books. Well, more than 100 people gathered at the Four Oaks Golf Course in Pittsburgh on Wednesday to participate in the regional golf competition. Competition was for students and adults. Unified teams also competed, and the teams consisted of students with and without disabilities.
So this is a great time for them to reconnect with each other, but a great time to celebrate each other. Everybody that comes out here, they love it, because it's, even if they don't win, they're so happy for everyone who does win. So it's a great atmosphere, great camaraderie, and great competition.
The event is part of the Unified Schools program that helps reduce bullying and increase inclusion. On Wednesday, a local Pittsburgh Ford Model T Club kicked off its Southeast Kansas tour. The Hillbilly Tour is hosted by the Heart of the Ozarks chapter of the Model T Ford Club of America. Drivers were cruising around Pittsburgh to showcase their classy cars. One driver says their goal is to keep the cars in people's memories.
It's just nostalgia again. I mean, this is the car of the century, last century obviously. They made 15 million of them. It made Ford famous. It's just a unique vehicle that we don't want to fade into history, so we're trying to keep it alive.
All right. Hillbilly Tour ends September 10th.
All right, quick check of that 7-day forecast. We got 92 tomorrow, so a bit warmer, mostly clear skies. Watching late day rain chances Saturday into Sunday morning. Brings us cooler temperatures as well, 82 Sunday, and then check out those overnight lows dropping back into the 50s with afternoon highs next week pushing close to 90 under mostly clear skies. So we get a brief rain chance, not enough to help with the drought really, but at least it's some rain. And then we warm back up again and dry out. So if you've got outdoor activities, great weather. If you are a farmer, this is not great weather.
Very true. Well, that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, MSSU gives its thoughts on the upcoming game this Saturday.
Plus, students in Seattle were supposed to go back to school yesterday, but teachers went on strike.
And a recent study reveals how thermometers do not work equally for everyone. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back.
A union representing teachers and educational support staff in Seattle says teachers will not be heading back into the classroom until a contract agreement is reached. Students were supposed to head back to school yesterday, but a teacher strike has foiled those plans and parents have no idea when it'll be over. Dan Springer has the story.
Nearly 50,000 students in the Seattle Public School District are not in class Wednesday after the teachers union voted to go on strike just a day before the school year was scheduled to start. The union represents 6,000 teachers and 95% of them voted yes for the strike. The decision leaving some parents scrambling while others say they understand why this is happening.
I'm definitely willing to make that sacrifice as a parent and, have another day at home with my kids if that can mean that, a year's long of education will be improved.
Educators say their demands are simple: better wages, reasonable workloads, and support for themselves and their students.
When I went to the district saying we needed help, they weren't listening. And when I asked them to come into the classroom to observe and to see what was going on, they were really reluctant. And then when I asked what they needed from me to show that students needed support, they had no answer.
This isn't just an issue happening in Seattle. In Kent, Washington, classes have been canceled for the last 8 days, affecting more than 25,000 students, while the Kent Public School District negotiated new contracts for their staff. On Wednesday, an agreement was reached. Those fighting for better work conditions in Seattle are hoping their district will reach a solution soon so they can get back to their students.
We're all thinking about our families and our students, and we understand the impact that has on families. I wouldn't be here if what the district was proposing was not unconscionable.
Seattle public school officials say free lunches will be available to students at several school locations. And that brings us to our something to talk about this morning. Do you think teachers should be paid more? You can vote yes or no by going to our website at koamnewsnow.com/vote. You can do so through the app, or additionally, you can participate in the discussion on our Facebook page. Still to come, we'll have the latest updates on the stabbing spree that happened in Canada. Plus, we got to check into your forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns. The Missouri Southern Lions hit the road this weekend for the first time this season. The Lions traveled to Tahlequah, Oklahoma on Saturday to face the Northeastern State Riverhawks. Both of these teams are 0-1 heading into the weekend. Last week, Southern fell to Nebraska Kearney 24-7 in their season opener. In that game, they were down just 10-7 with about 10 minutes to go. So the defense kept them in it for a while, but the offense managed just 187 total yards on the night, something they're looking to change in week 2.
One of the biggest things is just taking advantage of the opportunities that we get. I think that's something that we didn't do well last game. We had a couple drops. That's not what we see in practice every day. That's not what the coaches see, and I think they trust us to make those plays, and so they're going to keep coming to us. They run a lot of coverages that we like to throw the ball in. So we're going to see just a mix of everything this week.
The first thing we got to do is we got to do a better job on third downs. And that's, in order to sustain drives and maintain the ball, we've got to convert on third downs, and we've got to help ourselves out. The other thing that kind of, stuck in my craw a little bit was the personal fouls and unsportsmanlike. That's not us, that's not our kids, and that's not me. And so we'll get those two things addressed, and we'll be a much better football team this week.
Well, Joplin Eagles are 2-0 to begin the football season. The Eagles will try to stay hot this week, hitting the road to face Ozark this Friday. In these first 2 games, though, Joplin has a pair of wide receivers who have already become a big-time 1-2 punch in senior Terrence Gibson and sophomore David Thomas. Gibson has 129 yards receiving to go along with 2 touchdowns. Thomas, the sophomore, is the team's leading receiver with 196 yards and 4 touchdowns in just 2 games. The point here being, they're going to be a problem for everybody moving forward.
I think it's going to be hard for them playing safeties over top and stuff, because they're going to have to cover one or the other. And especially if we play with me and him side by side, and we run a fade route or something like that, they got to guard one.
On the other side, you got Aiden Sampson, who's another track kid, plus Witt, who's 6'7", 230, and is fast in his own right, to be honest with you. At that size, he's one of our faster kids. Everybody talks about chess pieces, and in football, not everyone's chess pieces are the same, and we're pretty proud of our guys, and a lot of that we feel like has come from the work that they put in the offseason.
And of course, we'll have all the football highlights here Friday night on KOAM and Fox 14. 7th range line looking pretty good across the area right now. You can't tell for sure, but those are clear skies out there right now. And under those clear skies, we're dealing with decent temperatures. 62 in Joplin right now. Still got some 50s up to the north. We're Yates Center, Chanute, Iola, Fort Scott, 59 to start the day. We had 60 Fredonia and Parsons, 62 Columbus and Neosho, and 64 in Monette as we get this glorious Thursday underway. Kids getting on the bus about 7 o'clock. We're looking around 69 degrees under mostly clear skies. When that bus brings them home, not too bad either. Mostly clear, about 82. And then we go through the rest of the day. We got a warm one, a little warmer than yesterday, but still not bad. 80 by noon, afternoon high of 88 and 72 by 8 o'clock. Mostly clear skies throughout the entire day. And you know what happens tonight? it's mostly clear skies again. We're talking 68 at 11, 65 at 2 a.m., overnight low of 63. As we head into the weekend, still watching those shower chances Saturday night into Sunday morning. 93 Saturday, 82 on Sunday, and then we're going to start to cool down a bit. During the day, it won't be so bad, but the evenings are going to be a little bit on the chilly side. Make sure you keep up on the latest forecast, of course, by scanning that QR code or by going to your favorite app store and searching for KOAM Skywatch Weather. That way you can download the KOAM Skywatch Weather app. It's like having the entire Skywatch Weather team in your pocket wherever you go. So if you're not near a TV, we're right there with you. All right, future track. Not a lot to show initially, and then we start to head into the weekend. We've got the cold front off to our northwest. It's going to start to bring us these shower chances. And this is the thing. These are low chances, unfortunately, because I know we need the rain, but the chances aren't all that great. But a spotty shower or two still possible as we head into the weekend, and any rain is beneficial, no matter how little it is. At least we're getting some. And then check out Monday morning. 52 degrees is a possible overnight low. I mean, it is September, and you know how it works in the 4 states. We go straight from summer to winter, and we may, we're going to be closing in on that transition sometime soon. 92 on Friday. Watching those rain and shower chances Saturday into Sunday. Overnight lows start to get pretty darn chilly. Daytime highs, on the other hand, still not bad. We're pushing mid to upper 80s under mostly clear skies as we start the next work week. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Tapping Health Watch this morning, a new study finds certain types of thermometers may not be accurate among Black patients. The study looked at temporal thermometers, which measure temperature on the foreheads versus in the mouth. And those thermometers detected fevers in 10.1% of Black patients. Contrast that with oral thermometers, which found fevers in 13.2% of that population. Researchers say that means up to 23% of fevers in Black patients could go undetected with these devices. White patients did not show the same inaccuracies. Temporal thermometers became much more common during the COVID-19 pandemic. Well, a new study suggests the new Omicron subvariant BA.4/6 evades protection provided by the coronavirus therapeutic EvoShield. EvoShield is the only therapy available to protect people with reduced immune function against COVID-19. BA.4/6 is slowly gaining ground in the United States. Columbia University professor of microbiology and immunology David Ho says it appears to evade the possibility of some antibodies to neutralize it, including those in EvoShield. AstraZeneca said the antibodies in EvoShield work together and that testing them separately may not reflect how the therapy performs in the real world. Let's look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
We got a pretty decent day lined up for us today. We're going to have mostly clear skies and warm conditions. 80 by noon, afternoon high of 88, 72 by 8 o'clock under, again, absolutely gorgeous skies across the area. And those clear skies hold on as we head into the overnight hours. 68 at 11, 65 by 2 with an overnight low of 63. Heading into the weekend, watching those late day rain chances Saturday night into Sunday morning. 93 Saturday, and then check it out, a 10-degree drop, actually an 11-degree drop in this case, Sunday with a high of 82. And if it's doing that to high temperatures, check out what it's going to do to the overnight lows. Looking at the future track, we're going to start talking about those overnight lows. Not a lot initially, then we watch the cold front to our northwest that'll bring us those scattered storm chances as we head into the weekend, and then we start to watch overnight lows get low. And on the 7-day forecast, you can see what I'm talking about. 92 on Friday, mostly clear skies. And then once we get into Sunday night, 51, 55 Monday night, and then back up to 60 by Tuesday night. Decent temperatures for the work week ahead and dry. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Right now at 5:29, 3 people in McDonald County, Missouri are dead after a head-on collision accident.
We've got clear skies across the area to start the day, but there's some rain showers on the way. We're going to break it all down coming up.
And Books A Million donates nearly $5,000 to buy books for the Dunawig Education Center.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. Like we said, it is 5:29. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. It is another absolutely beautiful start to the day. So I did run into two patches of fog. And I checked the fog tracker, and there's really not a lot to show out there. Because, you know, the last 2 or 3 days, we've dealt with some pretty foggy mornings. And this morning, it's just a little bit better than what it has been.
I didn't hit any on my way in today, which was nice.
That's a good sign. Fort Scott had some of the lowest visibility yesterday morning, about a 1/10 of a mile at the absolute lowest. And you remember 2 days ago, our tower cam at 7th and Range Line, by the time the sun came up, you could not see beyond the traffic lights. That's how foggy it was. So nothing quite like that going on today. And it's a Thursday.
I know, the work week's almost over there.
Yeah, we've got Literacy Liftoff coming up today. We've got Chef Anthony in the studio today. The work week's almost over today. There's a lot of stuff going on today. It's a busy day.
And we have some rain chances in the forecast for this weekend?
We do have some shower chances. Now, there's some good news with that, is we're looking at late day overnight showers. So we're not talking about ruining your day on Saturday or Sunday if you have outdoor plans. But overnight, it may be a little on the showery side. Right now, though, 7th and Range Line looks pretty darn good. Clear skies. I know you can't see it yet. Wait till the sun comes up. Then those clear skies will become extraordinarily apparent. And we've got really good temperatures, and that you don't need to see. You could just go out and feel. 62 degrees as we start the day in Joplin. Absolutely wonderful. Still holding on to some 50s out in southeast Kansas. So now we've got 58 in Sedan and Yates Center, 59 Fredonia, Chanute, and Iola, 63 Fort Scott, 61 Parsons, and 62 as we start the day in Miami. Kids getting on the bus this morning should be hovering right around 70 degrees under mostly clear skies, so not a bad start to the day and not a bad way to wrap up their school day either. Mostly clear and 82 come 3 o'clock. As we go through the rest of today, we're looking at a warm one, just a little warmer than yesterday, but still not bad. 80 by noon, afternoon high of 88, 72 by 8, mostly clear skies throughout. Mostly clear skies hold on through the night, 68 by 11, 65 by 2 a.m., and an overnight low of 63. And then we talked about the weekend. We're looking at shower chances late day Saturday, overnight into early Sunday. 93 Saturday, 82 on Sunday. That's an 11-degree drop, which means our lows are going to drop a little bit as well. We're going to talk about how much we're going to cool down and how much rain we're kind of looking at here in just a few minutes.
All right. Well, I'm looking forward to some possibilities for rain chances, but it's nice to hear also that they would be overnight.
Right. They shouldn't impact your weekend plans, but as you said too, we need these rain chances. The drought situation has improved a little bit, but most of us still in extreme drought right now, and any rain we get is definitely going to be beneficial.
I know some people wouldn't mind rain all day long.
There's a few out there, I think you're right, that wouldn't mind maybe even 2 or 3 days of rain.
Yeah, long and slow. All right, thanks, Chris. Well, 3 people are dead from a head-on collision in McDonald County. It happened shortly after 9:30 Tuesday night on US 71 near Brush Creek Road in Pineville. Troopers say 29-year-old Kyler Johnson from Washburn was heading south when he traveled into the northbound lane and struck another vehicle head-on. Johnson, along with both of his passengers, 58-year-old Joseph Lynch from Powell and a 15-year-old from Washburn, all died at the scene. 17-year-old from Neosho was driving the second vehicle. She was flown to Freeman Hospital in Joplin in serious condition. Southwest Missouri community regains internet access after losing it for almost 48 hours. KOAM's Jalen Banks shares with us what that experience was like.
We live in a time where the use of internet and our cell phones is very prevalent and part of our everyday lives. And one Missouri town wasn't able to use either for over 24 hours. Sheldon, Missouri was without internet, limiting most communication, forcing them to end school early for the day, leaving one mother in the dark on the matter.
It was really crazy. I had messages that I couldn't receive. The school let out early, but with my cell phone not working and not having internet, I had no idea that my children were coming home early until a friend happened to come by and tell me.
With the internet down, it caused issues for Town Hall.
From what I understand from a CenturyLink representative, there was a line cut over by South Greenfield, so that affected all of us. We had some water issues here in town, and we have a Facebook page that we use to communicate with the town. Well, if the internet's not working, you can't get the message out to everybody.
The city realizes just how important internet is.
Many years ago when we didn't have the internet or cell phones, we rely on technology so much nowadays. So when it's out, it does create a big impact.
Credit and debit card machines are down, emails and other daily functions. Fingers crossed it doesn't go down again.
It was just a little bit nuts. The kids were not able to do what they needed to do for school. They weren't able to entertain themselves the way they normally do. And so it was an interesting day.
In Sheldon, Missouri, Jalen Banks.
Well, during the internet outage, the only form of communication available was landline phones. Ouch. Local bookstores making sure students have plenty to read this year. On Wednesday, Books A Million in Joplin donated nearly $5,000 to buy books for the Dunawig Education Center. Officials say the students are very excited about the new reading opportunities.
So I have the most incredible staff. I probably shouldn't have said that out loud because people will want them. So really incredible staff. They're highly trained, really committed people. They absolutely love working with kids. I wouldn't be able to do it without them.
This is the second year Books A Million has partnered with a local school to donate books. More than 100 people gathered at the Four Oaks Golf Course in Pittsburgh on Wednesday to participate in the regional golf competition. Competition was for students and adults. Unified teams also competed. The teams consisted of students with and without disabilities.
It's giving all of us kids exercise, movement, arm movement, all of it. We really enjoy it, getting out here, getting back to normal. We love doing these Olympics because it's doing a lot for us. It's really great.
The event is part of the Unified Schools program that helps reduce bullying and increase inclusion.
All right, talking about those rain showers as we head into the weekend. As you can see, Saturday evening, we're watching that cold front off to our northwest. These rain chances are pretty scattered at best, but at least it is some kind of rain that is in our forecast. And on the 7-day, you can see those rain chances. So 92 on Friday, then we cool down 50s for overnight lows and then mid to upper 80s to start the next work week.
All right, well, this morning we're discussing teachers' pay. Nearly 50,000 students in the Seattle Public School District were not in class Wednesday and not in class again today after teachers union voted to go on strike just a day before the school year was scheduled to start. The union represents 6,000 teachers and 95% of them voted yes for the strike.
The decision leaving some parents scrambling while others say they understand why this is happening. Educators say their demands are simple: better wages, reasonable workloads, and support for themselves and their students. Those fighting for better work conditions in Seattle are hoping their district will reach a solution soon so they can get back to their students. And that brings us to our something to talk about. Do you think that teachers should be paid more? So far, 82% of you say yes. 18% of you say no. Remember, you can vote on our website, KOAMnewsnow.com/vote. Do so through the app and take part in the discussion on our Facebook page.
Well, we have a teacher in the studio right now, Chef Anthony, joining us
do.
from Pittsburgh High School, so I'm sure he's enjoying the answer right there. Yes.
I have no doubt that he is.
And should be paid more.
Honestly, I think they should be. What they do, they shape the minds of the future.
And maybe it wouldn't be so hard to fill all of the teaching slots.
Yeah, I mean, think you and I, we wouldn't be here if it wasn't for teachers.
That's right. That's right.
We'd be wandering around our backyards, staring at the grass, wondering what that was.
You would at least. No. Just kidding.
I still wonder sometimes about things in nature.
All right. Well, it was teachers that inspired all of us at one point.
Absolutely.
All right. Well, that's a look at our top news stories. Coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News. Imagine this. You spend all day baking a delicious chocolate cake only for it to get eaten by a bear. That's what happened to one California woman. We'll have her story.
All right. Plus, a building in Syria collapses and kills 10 people. We'll have the latest.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. Topping World Watch, we might never know why 10 people were fatally stabbed and 18 others injured in Canada. Police say they arrested a second suspect yesterday, but he died in custody. That's after they found his brother's body on Monday. Amy Kiley reports on what police say happened.
We may never have an understanding of that motivation.
The second suspect in a Canadian stabbing spree is dead. Police say a tip led to the arrest of Miles Sanderson here in Saskatchewan yesterday afternoon. They say he was alone in a stolen white truck with a knife.
Shortly after his arrest, he went into medical distress. He was pronounced deceased at the hospital.
Police did not reveal a cause of death, but said they provided medical care on the scene. Officials say he and his brother Damian Sanderson were suspected of killing these 10 people Sunday and injuring 18 others. Most of the victims are from the indigenous community of the James Smith Cree Nation.
We're hurting. We're broken, but we're not defeated.
This man says his sister, Bonnie Burns, died while trying to protect others. One of her sons was killed in the same attack. Her 13-year-old son was stabbed in the neck but survived.
She's not a victim. She's a hero.
Police found Damian Sanderson's body Monday and say his wounds did not seem self-inflicted. With both suspects dead, officials say no threat to the public remains.
I hope that this brings them some sense of closure in that they can rest easy tonight, knowing that Miles Sanderson is no longer a threat to them.
I'm Amy Kiley reporting.
Based on witnesses, police say they believe Miles Sanderson was the person who actually stabbed the victims. They say independent investigators will look into events surrounding his death, and an autopsy will determine his cause of death. Search and rescue operations are underway in the Syrian city of Aleppo. That's after a building collapsed there, killing at least 10 people and injuring 2 others on Wednesday. At least 7 people are also reportedly missing. Authorities are working to evacuate residents from neighboring buildings following the collapse of the 5-story structure. That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, some of the bigger weather headlines that we are watching this morning they're not bad headlines necessarily. We've got another nice day in store for us today. We are watching those weekend rain chances. They are low, but they are there. And then we've got some chilly evenings ahead of us. So let's go ahead and dive straight in here. Skywatch Storm Tracker, nothing on the local level. We zoom out and take a look at the entire lower 48. And you can see there's some activity here and there, but a lot of the lower 48 dry as we start this Thursday morning. We've got clear skies at 7th and Range Line, and it is a good start to the day temperature-wise. 62 degrees right now in Joplin. Still looking at 50s out in parts of southeast Kansas. Say Sedan, Yates Center, Fredonia, Chanute, Iola. A little bit on the chilly side. We got 64 in Fort Scott, 63 in Neosho, and 64 down in Bentonville. Kids getting on the bus this morning, going to be a nice one, pushing about 69 degrees, mostly clear skies. And when they return, we're looking at 82 by 3 o'clock, mostly clear skies, holding on. And we go through the rest of today. Got another beautiful day lined up. 80 by noon, afternoon high of 88, 72 by 8 o'clock under those mostly clear skies. And they hold on through the night. 68 at 11, 65 by 2 with an overnight low of 63 degrees. The rain chances this weekend, Saturday night into Sunday morning. So we're looking at mostly cloudy Saturday and then a mostly cloudy start to the day Sunday before those clouds do clear out. So day plans will not be impacted, should not be impacted by these showers. 93 Saturday, 82 on Sunday. That's when we start to cool down, especially on the overnight. So future track, let's take a quick look here. Nothing immediately, and then off to our northwest, we watch that cold front start to roll in by Saturday evening. That's what's bringing us the scattered storm chances. It'll roll through, give us some rain, which is better than no rain, and then it clears out. And what it does is what leaves behind 2 things, clear skies and pretty darn cool temperatures compared to the last few days. The afternoon highs will still be a bit on the warm side, but overnight, we're looking good. One more hot day, Friday, Saturday, 92, 93. Rain chances come through. Temperatures drop back into the 50s for overnight lows. We clear out to start the next work week with mostly clear skies and temperatures in the mid to upper 80s. We're back with the news you need to know before you head out the door right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. 3 people are dead from a head-on collision in McDonald County. It happened shortly after 9:30 Tuesday night on US 71 near Brush Creek Road in Pineville. Troopers say 29-year-old Kyler Johnson from Washburn was heading south when he traveled into the northbound lane and struck another vehicle head-on. Johnson, along with both of his passengers, 58-year-old Joseph Lynch from Powell and a 15-year-old from Washburn, all died at the scene. A 17-year-old from Neosho was driving the second vehicle. She was flown to Freeman Hospital in Joplin in serious condition. More than 100 people gathered at the Four Oaks Golf Course in Pittsburgh on Wednesday to participate in the regional golf competition. The competition was for students and adults. Unified teams also competed. The teams consisted of students with and without disabilities. Memphis, Tennessee went on high alert yesterday. Many residents sheltering in place as police desperately searched for a man driving around shooting at people during an hours-long deadly rampage. During the pursuit, police sent out an alert saying a man driving a light blue Infiniti was responsible for multiple shootings in the city. According to authorities, the suspected gunman later switched vehicles to a gray Toyota SUV. Police said the alleged shooter recorded his actions on Facebook. And Cleotha Abston appeared before a Tennessee judge in handcuffs to face first-degree murder charges. Murder charges came after police discovered Fletcher's body Monday in a grassy lot behind a vacant duplex roughly 7 miles from where the 34-year-old kindergarten teacher and mother of two was last seen. When he was 16, Abston kidnapped a prominent Memphis attorney. He spent nearly 2 decades in prison and was released in 2020. Abston served 85% of his sentence. Some are wondering whether that was enough. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
Check out that forecast you need to know as you head out the door. We're looking at clear skies to start the day and pretty decent temperatures as well. We're looking at 62 in Joplin. We've been holding on to some 50s for some of us in southeast Kansas. Sedan, Fredonia, Chanute, Yates Center, Iola. A little bit on the chilly side to start the day. We got 60 in Welch, 61 Miami, 63 in Neosho, and 62 in Monette. Kids getting on the bus about 7 a.m. should be almost 70 degrees under mostly clear skies. And when the bus brings them back, we're looking at 82, mostly clear at 3 o'clock today. Now for the rest of the day, it's going to be a good one. 80 by noon. 88 at 5 is the afternoon high. We're going down to 72 by 8 o'clock, mostly clear. Mostly clear tonight as well. Temperatures gradually drop back through the 60s. We'll have an overnight low of 63, and then we're watching rain chances Saturday night into Sunday morning. 93 Saturday, 82 on Sunday. And we start to cool down just a little bit, which we can see on the 7-day forecast as we head into the weekend. So we got 92 on Friday under mostly clear skies. Late day storm chances, cloudy both days otherwise, so not ruining your outdoor plans, but some showers overnight. And then once they clear out, check out these lows back into the 50s, near 60 degrees, and afternoon highs gradually creep up from mid to upper 80s to near 90 as we start the next work week under, yet again, mostly clear skies. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Well, a family in California had a very hungry, very unwelcome visitor recently.
A black bear entered their home while they were there and helped itself to everything in the kitchen until police arrived. Amy Johnson reports.
Hey, Bear! Bear, get out of here, Bear! Body cameras captured the wild scene as Simi Valley police made their way into this home to shoo a bear out, and it ran up into a tree after the homeowner heard some strange sounds coming from her kitchen Sunday morning.
So I kind of lean into the door a little bit of the kitchen, and I'm kind of peeking around, and I see my kitchen is kind of destroyed. A chocolate cake I made for a barbecue that day was dumped over.
But the mess was only the beginning. The culprit was still there.
It looked like somebody in a bear costume.
No costume. This was definitely the real deal.
He was standing there, he or she was standing there, turned around and looked at me, and I thought, that is not somebody in a costume. And I flew upstairs, yelled for him, and I said, Scott, we have a bear in our house.
Her son thought she was making the bear tale up.
I didn't believe her at first because we do not have bears in Simi Valley.
He had to check for himself.
I looked downstairs to see where it was at because it got all quiet. And then I took a peek at it. It was really laying on top of the counter, like how a dog would. And it looked at me like, hey, hey, what's up, man? And you mind if I just chill here for a bit? I'm like, yeah, just enjoy your time until the cops come.
Picture shows some of the damage, scratched up cabinets, and a huge mess.
It ate avocados I had on the counter. It ate the nectarines.
It didn't eat the chocolate cake that you made?
It ate half of it.
Oh my gosh.
Because then the next day it came back
into our trash and ate the rest of it.
A picture shows the scene of his return, trash around the trash can, and the other half of the cake was gone.
Oh no.
The other half of the cake. Did the bear really do that, or did the kids do that?
Yeah,
and
you know,
blamed
that's
it
what
on
we were
the
just
bear?
talking about,
Yeah.
because I was looking at that, I'm like, no, the kids do that. Believe me, we know. We've seen this happen firsthand. We've watched kids do these
My
things.
dog chews on things like that.
Yeah, so, I mean, but they did have the bear out in the tree.
Man, I did not know bears could climb that high.
Did not know that either. That was absolutely insane.
Well, and I was wondering, I was like, is that a before or after picture? Was the bear up in the tree casing the house, waiting until they left, you know?
I would hope that if they noticed him beforehand, they would have notified somebody and said, hey.
Maybe they didn't.
There's a bear. But they
And he's
took
been
the
hanging out
picture.
in that tree for days, and they took the picture finally afterwards.
Yeah, because he lives in the tree.
And just waits for his opening so we can get a picnic basket.
Well, he didn't get the picnic basket, but he did get a decent-looking chocolate cake. That chocolate cake looked pretty good. And then, so, I mean, you know, the police arrived. So what? We're talking breaking and entering, theft, harassment, evading officers.
He didn't have any weapons.
Because he ran out. No, he wasn't. He didn't appear to be armed, but that bear, it was a dangerous situation. We'll have a check of your forecast right after this. All right, quick check of that forecast for you this morning. As the kids get on the bus, first, don't do as I'm doing and stand directly in front of the bus. That's dangerous. Don't be on the road. But they're going to see 69 at 7 a.m., mostly clear skies. And then when the bus turns around, brings them home, 3 o'clock, 82 degrees, mostly clear skies. And we've got another pleasant day lined up for us. A little bit warmer than what we saw the other day, and it's going to be a little bit warmer tomorrow as well. 88 for the afternoon high under mostly clear skies. And overnight lows tonight dropping back into the 60s, 63 for that overnight low. We've got more of the KOAM morning news right after this.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. This morning we're talking about an ongoing strike in Seattle that's causing delays in the school year. What we want to know, should teachers be paid more? Make sure you vote online through our app and take part in the discussion on our KOAM Facebook page.
Plus, KOAM continues its series on energy in the 4 states with a trip to a natural gas plant to show you how this source of energy gets converted into power for the people.
But first, our top stories right now at 6. A driver in McDonald County travels into the wrong lane and causes a head-on collision, killing 3 people.
We've got decent temperatures to start the day. How warm is it going to get, and will we see rain? That answer is coming up.
And construction gets underway in Joplin for fire station number 7 after voters approve its funding way back in 2006.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 6 a.m. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So, it's a lovely Thursday in the 4 states. Did you know our very own Sam Lane is here in the studio with us this morning?
Which is super exciting.
So, since I took over full time on morning weather, Doug Hetty stopped by one morning. He
and I
hung
wasn't
out
here
with
that
us.
day.
Yeah, you weren't even here that day, and you were saying you've never worked with Doug on the mornings. Well, he was here, and that was intimidating from my perspective. And then we've got meteorologist Sam Lane here, who's also a veteran in the weather industry, and it's just a little overwhelming because I've had these experts supervising. And it's just a little crazy. So Sam is going to be here tomorrow morning in my place because I'm going to take 3 days and sleep. It's 3 days straight. I'm going to hibernate. That's what I'm going to do.
We made you delay your Labor Day weekend.
You know, and I'm
we
fine
made you
with
labor
that
first before you got
it. That's the whole point of Labor Day, isn't it? I needed to labor on that day so that I could then enjoy a weekend after. And that's what we're doing. You know who else is here?
Chef. Oh, yeah. Corinne's here.
Corinne's is
And Chef Anthony's
She's the
in
one who brings me
studio.
the papers all the time. And yes, Chef Anthony is now right behind her.
I'm so excited. Coming up, we're going to start our herb and mint crusted lamb chops. And you know what? Chris has never eaten lamb.
I've never had any meat but beef, really. I mean, I've had hot dogs, bologna, but I mean, in terms of like actual restaurant type meat, it's just been beef, chicken. That's really it.
We're going to open your world here on the morning show.
I've never really wanted to try anything else. So, yeah, my world will be opened. And we have some open world going on right now at 7th and Rangeline. The world's open outside. Take a look at that sky. Don't give me that look. You look at me in the strangest ways because I say things that make you laugh, and then you don't want to laugh because you think I'm crazy. And that may be true, but that's not the point. 7th and Rangeline is looking really good this morning, and we've got temperatures in Joplin sitting at 63 degrees. Not too bad. We've got 60s across most of the area except parts of southeast Kansas. Sedan now at 57, 58 for Donia, Chanute, Yates Center, 59 in Iola. So a cool start for some of us. Kids get on the bus. We're looking at a temperature of 69 at 7 a.m. with mostly clear skies. And we have 82 and mostly clear when that bus brings them home. Today, we're heading for a high of 88 degrees, 80 at noon, 88 by 5, 72 at 8 o'clock with mostly clear skies. We're going to take a full look at the forecast, including some rain chances this weekend here in just a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, a head-on collision takes the life of 3 people in McDonald County. It happened shortly after 9:30 Tuesday night on US 71 near Brush Creek Road in Pineville. Troopers say 29-year-old Kyler Johnson from Washburn was heading south when he traveled into the northbound lane and struck another vehicle head-on. Johnson, along with both of his passengers, 58-year-old Joseph Lynch from Powell and a 15-year-old from Washburn, all died at the scene. A 17-year-old from Neosho was driving the second vehicle. She was flown to Freeman Hospital in Joplin in serious condition. When Proposition Public Safety failed before voters in August, the Joplin Police Department questioned how they would retain and hire officers. City of Joplin worked for the last month to create a new pay plan. And while the revised agreement applies to officers, corporals, and sergeants, a beginning officer will receive about $19.23 an hour. The JPD says they've also implemented many suggestions for police retention, including to have patrol officers work 12-hour shifts, which would give them every other weekend off. We've got more details on the story on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Construction begins on a new fire station in Joplin. Fire station number 7 will be at 6720 East 30th Street and will serve Southeast Joplin. The $4.5 million project is funded through the public safety tax that was approved by voters in 2006. Officials expect the station to open in August of next year. This morning, we continue our look into where our electricity comes from in the 4 states. And one of the many sources of power generation comes from natural gas. Liberty Utilities has 2 natural gas plants in our area, one in Joplin and another in Riverton. Later in the show, our own Chris Warner will take us inside Liberty's State Line Generation Facility and explore how natural gas helps bring electricity into your home. In a return to tradition, former President Barack Obama and Michelle Obama visited the White House for the unveiling of their official portraits. Skylar Henry reports on the historic occasion.
The Obamas arrived to a huge welcome at the White House, invited by President Biden and the First Lady for the unveiling of their official portraits.
When future generations walk these halls and look up at these portraits, I hope they get a better, honest sense of who Michelle and I were.
The ceremony was also a coming home for the former first couple. The former president has only visited the White House on one other occasion since the end of his administration in 2017. For Ms. Obama, it was her first time back.
What we are seeing is a reminder that there's a place for everyone in this country. That is what this country is about.
The portrait unveiling marked a return to a tradition that transcended party politics for decades, until that stopped during the Trump administration. Past ceremonies have brought memorable and lighthearted moments, as when the Obamas hosted George and Laura Bush.
I am pleased that my portrait brings an interesting symmetry to the White House collection. It now starts and ends with a George W.
The Obamas chose their artists, Robert McCurdy and Sharon Sprung, both portraits painted entirely from photographs.
You'll note that he refused to hide any of my gray hairs, refused my request to make my ears smaller. He also talked me out of wearing a tan suit, by the way.
A pair of earlier portraits were unveiled in 2018 and installed in the Smithsonian's National Portrait Gallery. These newer artworks will live here in the White House, a reminder of the Obamas chapter in the American story. Skylar Henry, CBS News, the White House.
All right, quick check of the 7-day forecast. We're looking at 92 tomorrow, mostly clear. Rain chances Saturday night into Sunday, and then a cool down. 82 Sunday, overnight lows in the 50s, afternoon highs next week in the mid to upper 80s.
All right, that's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News. It's Thursday, and that means Chef Anthony Fisher from Pittsburgh High School has got something special on the menu. We're making herb and mint crusted lamb chops with sweet carrots.
All right. Plus, one new study links artificial sweeteners to increased risk of cardiovascular disease. We've got the details. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. It's more real news in the morning. We'll be right back. The Missouri Southern Lions hit the road this weekend for the first time this season. The Lions traveled to Tahlequah, Oklahoma on Saturday to face Northeastern State Riverhawks. Both of these teams are 0-1 heading into the week. Last week, Southern felled Nebraska Kearney 24-7 in their season opener. In that game, they were down just 10-7 with about 10 minutes to go. So the defense kept them in it for a while, but the offense managed just 187 total yards on the night, something they're looking to change in week 2.
One of the biggest things is just taking advantage of the opportunities that we get. I think that's something that we didn't do well last game. We had a couple drops. That's not what we see in practice every day. That's not what the coaches see, and I think they trust us to make those plays, and so they're going to keep coming to us. They run a lot of coverages that we like to throw the ball in. So we're going to see just a mix of everything this week.
The first thing we got to do is we got to do a better job on third downs, and that's in order to sustain drives and maintain the ball, we've got to convert on third downs, and we've got to help ourselves out. The other thing that kind of stuck in my craw a little bit was the personal fouls and unsportsmanlike. That's not us, that's not our kids, and that's not me. And so we'll get those two things addressed, and we'll be a much better football team this week.
Joplin Eagles are 2-0 to begin the football season. The Eagles will try to stay hot this week, hitting the road to face Ozark this Friday. In these first 2 games, though, Joplin has a pair of wide receivers who have already become a big-time 1-2 punch in senior Terrence Gibson and sophomore David Thomas. Gibson has 129 yards receiving to go along with 2 touchdowns. Thomas, the sophomore, is the team's leading receiver with 196 yards and 4 touchdowns in just 2 games. The point here being, they're going to be a problem for everybody moving forward.
I think it's going to be hard for them playing safeties over top and stuff because they're going to have to cover one or the other. And especially if we play with me and him side by side, and we run a fade route or something like that, they got to guard one.
On the other side, you got Aiden Sampson, who's another track kid, plus Witt, who's 6'7", 230, and is fast in his own right, to be honest with you. At that size, he's one of our faster kids. Everybody talks about chess pieces, and in football, not everyone's chess pieces are the same, and we're pretty proud of our guys, and a lot of that we feel like has come from the work that they put in the offseason.
All right, taking a look at the forecast. Here's what we're looking at today. Got another nice day ahead of us. Mostly clear skies, and on the Skywatch Storm Tracker, nothing to show. Lower 48, there's some activity up in New England states and back out, say, Montana, Idaho, parts of Wyoming. Not a lot going on yet, but we are watching a cold front that's going to bring us some changes in our weather in the next couple of days. Right now, 7th and range line, clear skies to start the day and good temperatures too. 63 in Joplin. We've had some 50s out in southeast Kansas that we're trying to hold on to. 57 Sedan, 58 Fredonia, Chanute, and Yates Center, and 59 in Iola. So a chilly start for some of us, and it's interesting to me every morning. Southeast Kansas is usually the cool spot to start the day, and they end up being the warm spot by the afternoon. I don't know how that works, but that's how it plays out. 69 at 7 a.m. as the kids get on the bus, and they're mostly clear skies again at 3 o'clock, 82 when the bus brings them home. Going through today, we've got a decent day shaping up, mostly clear skies, 80 at noon, afternoon high of 88, and 72 by 8 o'clock. Tonight, mostly clear skies yet again, 68 at 11, 65 at 2 a.m. with an overnight low of 63. And then, as I mentioned, we're watching late day shower chances Saturday into Sunday. 93 Saturday, 82 Sunday, and we're going to start to cool down at least for a couple of days thanks to the cold front that we will see move in, and that's what we'll see on the future track. Nothing initially, then there's that cold front off to our northwest. It'll slowly slide southeast into our area, bringing us some scattered shower chances late Saturday, early Sunday. Once we clear out Sunday, pretty decent day lined up for us, and then And we just kind of stay warm, we stay dry, and on the 7-day forecast you can see that. We're looking at 92 tomorrow under mostly clear skies. Temperatures overnight start to drop back into the 50s for lows, and we hang out in the mid to upper 80s to near 90 to start the next work week under mostly clear skies. We're back right after this.
Welcome back. We've got Chef Anthony in the studio again this morning, and we are making lamb chops today. Super excited about this. And these aren't just any lamb chops.
No, these lamb chops are born and raised Crawford County.
That's cool.
So these are really, really good. And they look like little T-bone steaks.
And where can you find that lamb chops that are
Simon
There
Market.
you go.
He has these in, and these are so good. I cannot wait to show you how good these are. I love lamb chops. One of the biggest things, though, what's the most commonly served thing with lamb? Mint jelly.
Oh, okay. Yeah, something mint.
So I'm
and
taking...
and then like a wine or something.
Yeah, well, I'm taking away the need for the mint jelly, and we're going to crust our lamb chops. So I have lamb chops. What I did is I seasoned my lamb chops, put a little butter in here, and I put them in my sous vide at 135 degrees.
And if you need a refresher course on how to use the sous vide and how to pack it and everything in there, we do have that up on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com as well. That was our lesson last week on sous vide cooking.
And I love using this. And one of the reasons why you're going to start seeing me use a little bit more is because it is such an easy technique once you pick one up and once you learn how to use it. It's so easy, and it opens up the possibilities of things for you to make.
Do you want to show us what you have in there?
Oh, yes. I have my lamb in here, and then I have carrots with brown sugar, seasoning, and butter. So those are coming together. We're going to play those into the next segment. And we have potatoes, but these aren't just any potatoes. These potatoes have been cut into cylinders.
Okay.
And one of the tricks that you can do with these is to take a piece of PVC pipe, clean it, run it through your dishwasher, but you want the waterline pipe, the thinner stuff, not the thick stuff.
Okay.
And you just cut yourself a piece a little bigger than your hand, run it through the dishwasher so it's nice and clean, and then just push it through the potato and cut the ends off of it, and you end up with these beautiful little cylinders.
Okay. Makes it
So
easy.
it just changes it a little bit, offers you a little bit of difference inside of your plate. People are like, how did you do that? Well, that's exactly how we do it. So
PVC pipe.
Yeah, so we're going to take these and we're going to throw those in there as well and let those cook and have those ready for the next
What
part.
temperature setting do you have this
I am
at?
at 136.
136.
So
You've had the steak and the carrots in there for quite a while.
Well, I put them in at about 5:30 because they take about an hour and 15 minutes to cook. I wanted to make sure that we were done.
Okay.
And those are going, the potatoes won't take near as long, so I'm not too worried about those. So we're going to put mint in with our panko crumbs into our food processor. We're going to create the crusting for our lamb.
Okay.
And I'm going to take just the tops of some parsley, and I'm going to throw it right in here. And this is going to change the perspective of what our lamb chops are going to look like.
Yeah,
Because
obviously it's going to change the color of your panko.
exactly, and we want that little bit of a change to play on the eye, because the first thing that you eat with is your eyes.
And that was our very own Chris Warner on the camera there, you saw.
He wants to get a little closer this week.
He was trying to be sneaky. We caught him.
I don't blame him. This lamb is really good stuff. So for future episodes, I started a competition with my students, and I gave them a pound of ground lamb, and I told them, create me a meatloaf dish. The meatloaf recipe and the whole dish with lamb, with ground lamb. And then once they get them all together, they'll submit them, and we'll make a decision. And they're going to come on here, and they're going to make them for you.
Okay.
So
I'm
they're really
about
excited about that. And then Bacon and Pastry is working on apple pie poutine.
Okay.
So if anybody's ever had poutine at any of the local restaurants.
Well, yeah, that's like a gravy base over French fries, right?
Exactly.
Yeah,
Basically upscale gravy fries.
So you're going to use apple pie filling over French fries?
Well, we're going to make our own French fries.
Okay.
So that it goes
This is
together.
interesting.
But remember, it's baking and pastry, so.
Okay.
I think I've got enough parsley in here to get where I want to go, so I'm going to close this down. I'm going to give it a couple of pulses.
Nice. Gives it a good healthy mixture of color there.
And we're going to throw just a little bit more in there.
Okay.
So Any parsley works really good, but this broadleaf parsley is probably one of the best. Plus, it's super inexpensive.
I can smell that mint now.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah.
Comes out very nicely, doesn't it?
About how much mint would you say you use for
Well, probably 2 ounces.
2 ounces.
So.
Is that about half a package?
Well, if you go to the grocery store and you buy a package of it, that's about 1 package.
Okay.
If you grow mint at home, that's 3 large stems.
Okay.
Roughly. There we go. I think
not 3 leaves, but 3 stems.
3 large
leaves.
stems.
Yeah. And we're not using the stems.
No, I saved the stems from my parsley. We'll use that to make chicken stock.
Oh, okay.
So we'll throw it in chicken stock to help add some flavor. There we go.
Nice, beautiful color though.
So you're playing up the color with your panko crumbs. Take all this out. And we're going to pour it right here into this pan.
Beautiful.
And you get all that wonderful, beautiful color. And we're going to coat our lamb chops in this, and then we're going to throw them in the air fryer for just a little bit to crisp up the breading. And we're going to roll from there, and then we're going to build this beautiful plate for you this morning.
Oh, I'm so excited about this, and we're going to make Chris come on and try it too.
Oh, he's going to love this.
All right, well, we will have to do that when we come back on the Fox 14 show. And until then, I guess you get to take a break.
That's right. Go grade some tests.
All right, we'll be right back.
We've got a pretty decent day lined up for us today, and we'll talk more about your full forecast here in just a few minutes. But first, we're going to dive into Health Watch, where a new large French study links higher artificial sweetener consumption with increased risk of cardiovascular disease. Researchers looked at data on more than 100,000 people. They say these food additives should not be considered a healthy or safe alternative to sugar. That's a look at one of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News, and we're watching outside at 7th and Rangeline, where it's looking pretty decent as well. I think I'm skipping a little bit here, but that's all right. Let's talk about our morning talker, where nearly 50,000 students in the Seattle Public School District not in class Wednesday after teachers union voted to go on strike just a day before school was scheduled to start. Now, the union represents 6,000 teachers, and 95% of them voted yes for the strike. And that, of course, left parents scrambling, while others say they understand what's going on. Educators say their demands are simple, just better wages, reasonable workloads, and support for themselves and their students. And that brings us to our something to talk about. Do you think teachers should be paid more? 88% of you say yes, 12% of you say no. You can vote through our website, our app, take part in discussion on our Facebook page. Quick check of the forecast. 7th and Rangeline looking pretty good. Clear skies, temperature in Joplin at 63 degrees, and we are looking at 60s across the area, except say Yates Center, now 56 degrees to start the day, 61 in Columbus. Kids getting on the bus, 7 a.m. We're looking at 69, mostly clear skies, and when the bus brings them home about 3, mostly clear skies continue, and 82. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
Right now, a driver in McDonald County travels into the wrong lane and causes a head-on collision, killing 3 people.
Mother Nature giving us another beautiful sunrise across the area. We'll talk about today's forecast and some weekend rain chances coming up.
And construction gets underway in Joplin for Fire Station number 7 after voters approve its funding back in 2006.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's now 6:31. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. I couldn't smell it earlier, but now that I'm back on this side of the studio, I can smell the mint.
The mint, yeah.
It smells very nice. I'm really excited for the next Chef Anthony segments where he's going to start actually cooking this stuff. Because
So basically what we've done so far is we've ground together the mint and parsley into the panko breadcrumbs. And so we've made the herb and mint crust that we're going to put on lamb chops. And they've been sous vide. I don't know if that's the right term. We're sous vide cooking. So
we'll say.
Yeah. So
Chef Anthony can give us, the official
yeah.
term, of course. He's the expert in the field.
It's kind of like a steam boil. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be, it's going to look really good. Yeah, because he brought that steam boiler back, and I saw that thing the last time he was here, and it absolutely fascinated me. There's always something fascinating.
Cooking. Yep, we like it.
With Chef Anthony.
Yeah.
He's never not boring.
And we will explain
he's never boring.
The ducks when he comes back as well.
Yes, the ducks. He tried to get me to eat one. You did too. And that's a problem. He had these ducks. He said they were a secret ingredient. You said they were edible. They tried to have me eat them, and they're plastic ducks. You can't mess with me this early in the morning.
But you will try the lamb.
I will try. I've never had it before. I will try it. It looks good. If I didn't know it was lamb, I wouldn't have known it was lamb.
It's going to be excellent.
I'm not a big... I eat a lot of food. I just am not a food connoisseur.
You're one of those people that goes to the restaurant, always orders the same thing.
Yes. Drives the wife a little crazy. Because that means there's only certain places we go, because she knows there's only certain things I'm going to eat. So you always get to pick where we go. And I said, well, but you know I'm going to eat it. I won't waste it. So, and I'd rather go somewhere I know I'm going to eat instead of go somewhere new and then I hate the food and then that's, $20, $30 wasted.
Well, you should have plenty of opportunity to get out and go somewhere with the weather out there.
Yes, it's absolutely gorgeous. Take a look at this sunrise, that 7th in ranged line. Boy, the last several mornings have just been absolutely beautiful. It makes me not want to show you the current conditions because then we block part of that beautiful sky. 63 is where we are in Joplin. We've been floating with that all day long. So far, 56 in the 8th Center to start the day, and that is downright chilly. We got 58 Sedan and Chanute, 57 Fredonia, 59 Iola, 63 Neosho, and 64 in Carthage to start the day. Kids getting on the bus, we're looking about 69 degrees, mostly clear skies at 7 a.m. And when the bus turns around, then eventually brings them home, hopefully not immediately. But by 3 o'clock, 82 degrees, mostly clear skies. Going through the rest of the day, we're looking at an afternoon high of 88 under mostly clear skies. And tonight, mostly clear skies again, a low of 63 degrees. And then we're watching those weekend rain chances Saturday evening into Sunday morning. 93 Saturday, 82 Sunday. We start a cool down, albeit brief, but not bad. We're going to talk about that cool down, take a look at the 7-day forecast here in a few minutes.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, a head-on collision takes the life of 3 people in McDonald County. It happened shortly after 9:30 Tuesday night on US 71 near Brush Creek Road in Pineville. Troopers say 29-year-old Kyler Johnson from Washburn was heading south when he traveled into the northbound lane and struck another vehicle head-on. Johnson, along with both of his passengers, 58-year-old Joseph Lynch from Powell and a 15-year-old from Washburn, all died at the scene. A 17-year-old from Neosho was driving the second vehicle. She was flown to Freeman Hospital in Joplin in serious condition. Construction begins on a new fire station in Joplin. Fire station number 7 will be at 6720 East 30th Street and will serve Southeast Joplin. The $4.5 million project is funded through the public safety tax approved by voters in 2006. Officials expect the station to open in August of next year. Many of us take electricity for granted. You flick a switch and the light comes on. But how does that power get to you? Our own Chris Warner tells us about one of the 4 major power sources in the 4 states.
It's pretty noisy here at Liberty Utilities State Line Power Facility on the far western edge of Joplin. Plant manager Brian Bergstresser says that noise is from the process taking place here to generate the electricity that reaches your home.
So we take a lot of fuel and a lot of air, put that together in a controlled manner and make a fire, and then that goes out over a series of turbine wheels, which drives the shaft that it's attached to, which goes back to a generator. Then that generator makes electricity.
Bergstresser says there are 2 types of units at State Line. Both produce electricity, both use natural gas to do that, but how they do it is just a little different.
We have a combined cycle and a simple cycle unit here. The simple cycle, just like I said, blows through, exhausts out the back end at over 1,000 degrees. The combined cycle does the same process, but then takes that waste heat of 1,000 degrees and uses that to heat up water and then steam, and then that energy drives a steam turbine, which also has a generator attached to it.
The State Line facility is one of 2 natural gas plants right here in our area, with the other one located in Riverton.
We are the largest plant on our footprint. Even though we're joint owned, it's still 600 megawatts that goes out, and that can supply basically the whole city of Joplin and then some.
That's 600 million watts generated from this plant alone every hour. It takes 29 people to man this plant, with even fewer on duty at one time to ensure it runs smoothly. That number is small for a plant this size, thanks in part to how it's controlled.
Yeah, obviously this distributed control system, we acronym everything, so we call it a DCS. It has gone through a series of upgrades, the last one in 2012, bigger processors. And we monitor over 3,000 points at all times here with this system. Probably have about 10,000 points out in the plant we're looking at.
During the winter storm in February of 2021, demands on the power grid increased dramatically. Now, to help with that demand, Liberty, along with the majority of electric providers in our area and across the Midwest, are part of a special organization.
There's something called a reserve sharing group that we're a member of, and we all agree that if one of the other members has a problem, we can turn on in a very short amount of time and help that other person out.
That group is known as the Southwest Power Pool, which we'll learn more about in another one of our special reports. Bergstresser adds that group also steps in during planned outages for repair work at the power plants and can step in if a utility company has an unexpected failure to ensure customers never notice anything went wrong. During the winter storm and during any major weather event, Bergstresser says they always examine how the plant performed.
We've spent the last 20 years, every time there's bad weather, whether it's hot or cold, you know, what failed, how do we make it better, what looked like it was going to fail, how do we make it better, how do we avoid those problems going forward.
Bergstresser says the answers to those questions have led to improvements and enhancements at plants across the grid to ensure they can keep up with energy demand. In Joplin, Chris Warner, KOAM News.
Liberty Utilities also uses wind power to generate electricity. In the next part of our series, we'll look at the Southwest Power Pool and the impact it has on our local utilities.
And we're looking at the 7-day forecast and the impact it will have on your energy bill. You'll actually be able to give your AC a break as we head into the weekend. Some rain chances Saturday and Sunday. Overnight lows dropping back into the 50s. Highs next week, mid to upper 80s.
That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Apple hosts its first in-person product launch event in 3 years and debuts the iPhone 14.
Plus, teachers in Seattle refuse to return to the classroom until a more beneficial contract can be reached. Part of the fight's got to do with money. We want to know if you think teachers should make more money. We let you weigh in. We'll be right back.
In Consumer Watch this morning, Apple unveils its new iPhone 14 models, AirPods, and watch lineups at the company's first in-person product launch event in 3 years. Apple said iPhone 14 prices starting at $799 will remain the same as last year's iPhone 13. Hey, that's good news. The new products bring modest upgrades, including improved battery life and a 48 megapixel camera. The new phones will also be able to send emergency messages by satellite in areas that have no cell service. That's it for Consumer Watch. Let's go over to Chris for another look at your forecast.
All right, 7th and Rangeline, we have ourselves an absolutely beautiful sunrise this morning. Some fog off in the distance. We've got some patchy fog, but it's nothing like what we've seen the last few days. And we've got absolutely beautiful temperatures to go right along with that. 63 in Joplin right now under clear skies. We've got some cooler temperatures off to our northwest. 55 Yates Center, 58 Chanute. 50s in Sedan, Fredonia, Iola, Fort Scott, and Pittsburgh now, and Grove, and Anderson. So we're getting a bit of a chilly start to the morning. This is not as chilly as it's going to get. We'll talk about that too. Bus stop forecast by 7 a.m. should warm up a little bit. We're talking about 69 by 7 under mostly clear skies. Mostly clear skies later today as well. 82 by 3 o'clock. Going through the day, we're heading for an afternoon high of 88 degrees with mostly clear skies the theme, and that will remain the theme as we head into tonight. 68 at 11, 65 by 2, and an overnight low of 63 degrees. Now the weekend, watching those shower chances Saturday night into Sunday morning. Mostly cloudy skies Saturday, 93. We'll start mostly cloudy with early morning showers Sunday, and then they'll clear out and allow us to warm up to 82. But overnight, we're going to start to cool down. So let's talk about that future. Off to our northwest, we'll be watching this. It's a cold front that's going to start to move in. And that cold front is actually going to cool us off just a little bit for a couple of days at least, and bring us those isolated to scattered shower chances. Not good news for the drought situations. We need much more rain than what this system's going to bring us, but at least it does something for temperatures, because then we head through Sunday and check out some of these overnight lows. It gets downright cool. Still stay warm during the daytime hours, but take a look at the 7 days. So 92 tomorrow under mostly clear skies. And as we head into the weekend, 51 Sunday night, 50s through Tuesday and into Wednesday. And then we just hit the mid to upper 80s to near 90 to start the work week with mostly clear skies. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
We take this time to honor today's four-state hero, Sergeant Major Charles Swinson. Mountain Valley, Kansas native, served during Operation Iraqi Freedom as part of the 89th Regional Readiness Command. This decorated veteran earned the Combat Action Badge, the Iraqi Campaign Medal, 5 Army Achievement Medals, and 5 Army Commendation Medals. To Sergeant Major Charles Swinson, we thank you, today's four-state hero.
All right, time for some birthdays on this glorious Thursday morning, and we are beginning in Carl Junction with Remy Schmeidler, turning 2 years old today, and this comes with love from Mom and Dad. A very happy birthday to you today, Remy.
All right, and Ava Easley turning 10 years old this year. Looks like she's in her cheer uniform ready for the big game in Joplin, with love from Mom, Dad, Gigi, and Papa. And I understand she is a 4th grade cheerleader for the Joplin Youth Cheer Team.
All right, and we've got Owen and Connor January. Oh, my goodness, I'm skipping a bit. We've got Langley Moore. You'll have the twins. I've got Langley Moore and Edna turning 12 with an excellent catch there, Langley. Happy birthday to you. Get out there and spend this beautiful day doing a little more fishing. I think it's all right if you take the day off.
Yeah, go Chiefs.
Absolutely.
All right, and we've got, as promised, Owen and Connor January celebrating birthday number 13 this year. The January twins are celebrating in Pittsburgh with love from Dad, Mom, your sister, be nice to her please, and your entire family.
And we've got Cooper Says turning 14 in Columbus. Cooper, a very, very happy birthday to you, and enjoy the party in the bus.
All right, and go Titans. And we've got Macy Clounch, this year's Chanute Mexican Fiesta Queen. That's an awesome title.
That is an excellent title.
Yes.
Why can't I have that title?
Macy is celebrating birthday number 18 this year in Chanute.
And heading off to the southeast, we've got Gage Roberts turning 23 years old in Neosho, and this comes with love from Aunt Angie, Ariel, Hunter, Mom, Matt, Lindsay, and Oliver. Happy 23rd birthday, Gage.
Looking good in that suit, that's for sure. All right, and Sue Moore celebrating birthday number 78. Looking great there, Sue, in Crestline.
And our birthday list continues with Carol Jones turning 54 today. Happy birthday, Carol. And in Miami, we've got Krista Pierce turning 51. A happy birthday to all of you on this beautiful Thursday.
All right, and if you have a birthday or an anniversary, you can submit them to us. Just email them to us really easily at birthdays with an S, don't forget that S, KOAMTV.com, or birthdays at KOAMNewsNow.com.
And if you're at our website, take time to sign up for the KOAM News Now Birthday Club. You know what happens when you do, Trevor? Do you know? He's just nodding his head. He's not as excited. You should be super excited for the Birthday Club because you get great deals from local businesses. And all you have to do is go to KOAMNewsNow.com and sign up for that KOAM Birthday Club today. And today is the perfect day to actually go outside. Take your iPad, your Kindle, your laptop, whatever it is that you're going to use to sign up for the Birthday Club. Move it outdoors and sign up there, because this is going to be absolutely beautiful weather today. We're starting off with clear skies in Joplin, 63 degrees, and we've got chilly temperatures off to our north and west. Look at P8 Center, 55. We've got 50s in Sedan, Fredonia, Chanute, Iola, Fort Scott, Nevada, and Pittsburgh, and Grove, and now Anderson as well as we start this day. Otherwise, we're sitting in the lower 60s. We should start to move up a little bit, close to 70 by bus stop time here in just a few minutes, and if not, it might be a pinch chilly, but they won't need the jacket later, because by the time that bus brings them home, mostly clear, 82 at 3 o'clock. We go through the rest of today. It's got a beautiful day ahead of us. Mostly clear skies, 80 at noon, afternoon high of 88. and we'll drop down to 72 by 8 o'clock. Heading into the overnight, another beautiful night in store for us. 68 at 11, 65 at 2, and an overnight low of 63 degrees. Watching shower chances late Saturday into early Sunday. So we're looking mostly cloudy Saturday, and then showers and clouds will clear out Sunday morning. So the daytime hours should be all right. 93 Saturday, 82 on Sunday, and then we start to cool down, especially on the overnight side. So let's talk about that. Future track, nothing immediately. It's Friday and Saturday evening. That's when we see this cold front start to advance across Kansas. As it does so, it will bring us some scattered shower chances. It will also bring us some cooler temperatures. Now, we need more than just scattered showers to help with the drought situation. There's still a number of us in extreme drought conditions right now. And this rain, unfortunately, not really going to be enough to do much for us. But it will cool temperatures down briefly, especially overnight, with lows dropping back into the lower 50s. But as you can see, the daytime highs still kind of warm. So let's talk about it. 92 on Friday, mostly clear. We get through the weekend. Sunday night, 51 degrees for an overnight low. Then we start to warm up gradually to near 90 by Wednesday under mostly clear skies. And overnight lows are a little bit slower to recover, 55 Monday night and 60 Tuesday night. We're back with a look at the news you need to know before you head out the door when we come back.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. A head-on collision takes the life of 3 people in McDonald County. It happened shortly after 9:30 Tuesday night on US 71 near Brush Creek Road in Pineville. Troopers say 29-year-old Kyler Johnson from Washburn was heading south when he traveled into the northbound lane and struck another vehicle head-on. Johnson, along with both of his passengers, 58-year-old Joseph Lynch from Powell and a 15-year-old from Washburn, all died at the scene. 17-year-old from Neosho was driving the second vehicle. She was flown to Freeman Hospital in Joplin in serious condition. More than 100 people gathered at the Four Oaks Golf Course in Pittsburgh on Wednesday to participate in the regional golf competition. Competition was for students and adults. Unified teams also competed. The teams consisted of students with and without disabilities. Well, Memphis, Tennessee went on high alert yesterday. Many residents sheltering in place as police desperately searched for a man driving around shooting at people during an hours-long deadly rampage. During the pursuit, police sent out an alert saying a man driving a light blue Infiniti was responsible for multiple shootings in the city. According to authorities, the suspected gunman later switched vehicles to a gray Toyota SUV. They said the alleged shooter recorded his actions on Facebook. Cleotha Abston appeared before a Tennessee judge in handcuffs to face first-degree murder charges. Murder charges came after police discovered Eliza Fletcher's body Monday in a grassy lot behind a vacant duplex, roughly 7 miles from where the 34-year-old kindergarten teacher and mother of 2 was last seen. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
All right, kids getting on the bus this morning in about 4 minutes. Should be close to 69, but a lot of us a lot chillier than that. Mostly clear otherwise. Mostly clear when the bus brings them home. 82 degrees at 3 o'clock. Going through the rest of today, we're heading for an afternoon high of 88 degrees. And we've got an overnight low tonight of 63 degrees. And a quick check of the 7-day does show us where we've got showers coming in through the weekend and bring temperatures down with that cold front. Overnight lows in the 50s and highs in the 80s next week.
All right, well, coming up today at noon, we're making Grandma Millie's apple pie in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. America has hit its oldest sitting president and oldest Senate in history. Coming up on CBS Mornings, how old is too old to represent Americans? Tony DeCopel looks into the new push to elect young leaders.
Or you can switch on over to us with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. And this morning, we head back in Studio K with Chef Anthony, where he's making a herb and mint crusted lamb chop.
Plus, Jessica Palmert from Nayla Reed joins us to talk about the 2nd annual Literacy Liftoff event. Perfect timing, as today is World Literacy Day.
All right.
So that's going to wrap it up for us now. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we're going to do it again today at noon.